everyone, and welcome to another episode of Conversations with Grace. Um, I'm obviously doing this at a different time. So you know how I usually go live at 8:45 on Thursdays, 8:45 p.m. on Thursdays. I'm not doing that no more as far as Conversations with Grace. I'm only doing that for the conversations that I have with multiple people. Whenever I do interviews or special segments, that's the only time I'm going to go live on Thursdays at 8:45 p.m. Conversations with Grace right now is going to be kind of random. So what I'm going to do real quick is go ahead and share this broadcast to a couple of my groups. Let me see real quick. I haven't done it like this in a while simply because I'm always doing it at random times. Like I had to pre-record because just like now, I ended up being up all night and I couldn't keep doing that. And so I'm just going to go ahead and share this to a couple more groups before we get started with the questions. Oh, yeah. This is why it's good for me to use my phone. Hopefully. Let me see something real quick. See, this is why. Let's see. Okay, I'm sorry. Oh, y'all stayed there. To y'all loyal. Look, y'all are loyal. Look, okay, so anywho, we are going to answer some questions. We're going to answer some questions as we allow the people, the new members to come on in the group. So this first person asked, hey Jessica, this person asked, what is the difference between a twin flame and a soulmate? A twin flame and a soulmate? That's a good question. I don't know. I know a soulmate is someone who you were meant to be with. A soulmate is somebody who you was meant to be with, you know. As far as a twin flame, y'all gotta, I don't know what that, I've heard of that term before, but I don't really know what that means. I'm not even gonna lie. So if anybody knows what that means, please let me know. But I know a soulmate is someone who you're meant to be with. Um, I have too many things on the screen. Um, the next question is, can your sex life be reignited after years of decreased interest? Um, I definitely believe so, especially if your husband is, ready to take things off again. I mean, nothing is permanent. That's how I look at it. Nothing is permanent. So there's always room for improvement. So, yes, your sex life can be reignited after years of decreased interest. But the thing is, like I said, your husband has to be interested. That's the thing. He has to be interested, and then if he's not interested, he has to be willing to cooperate with you. So maybe he can get some medical treatment that will help him regain interest. What is that? I don't know what that even says. Let me see. I don't know what that is. So yeah, let me see the next question. The next question says, can a narcissist ever get better, and how? So, yes, a narcissist can get better. How? He has to first want to get better, or she has to first want to get better. Many times, getting better just means recognizing that you do have an issue. You have an issue with manipulation. And so, yeah, how can they get better? First of all, recognizing it, and then obviously being committed to change. Being committed to change. Hi, Mary. Thank you for joining. Um, let me see. I forgot how this works. I do not remember how this thing works. Mm. Okay, cool. All right, so the next question says, why do men not want to commit? So, yeah, we definitely can't speak for all men because some men do want to commit. But if you're talking about the men who you are in contact with, I mean, it could be for a number of reasons. They could have got betrayed before. They could have grown up with a mother who they saw, using men. They could have grown up with a mother who left them for other men. I mean, it's a lot of different reasons why a man may not want to commit. The same, it's reasons why some women don't want to commit it either. I used to be one of those. I was actually scared to get married because I was afraid to commit. Like, I was like, hold on now, like, I'm saying this, and like, I believe what I'm saying, but actually, like, writing is something down. I think it's like a mind block. I'm not even gonna lie. It's a mind block. As far as why people don't want to commit, but like I said, it's not just men. It's men and women, but it's for various reasons. But as far as you meeting men who don't want to commit, you just have to find a different crowd to hang around. Because like I said, all men are not the same. The next question says, let me bring this up a little bit closer. Hi, Cashflow and Timmy Turner. The next question says, when you have had to play the role of the woman and as well as the man of the house, how do you let someone in? and let them take the reins on being the man of the house and solely play the woman of the house? Okay, that's a good question. That's a really good question. So, I'm interested in this dynamic because, as far as man in the house, woman in the house, the way you're explaining this, it sounds like you have children. And see, that's why it's important to give me as much context as possible. But when you have children, let's just assume I never advocate for you bringing any other man or female, whatever, significant other in the house. Like, I would never recommend that just because it's too much crazy stuff going on nowadays. If you choose to do that, that's upon you. But that's the first way to not have to worry about that. Don't invite nobody in the house. You keep your own role. But, if you do want to do that, like, I'm going to say, okay, if you want to play that game as far as someone playing the man of the house, your house, first get married to him. That's what I'm going to say. Get married to him. Because I personally wouldn't be having nobody be a man of my house if I wasn't married to him. Not a house that I'm, paying bills for, that I purchased with my own money. It's like you're not unified. You're not one yet until you get married. That's just my take on it. So these dynamics of just moving people into your home and you're not married to them, I'm never going to advocate for that, but that's just me. And then especially because I know you all ask this a lot, it happens. But when you have children, that's another reason you got to be careful about just having children, because you're going to want to date, right? If you don't end up marrying the man you had children with, you're probably going to want to date. But being a mother, there's a sacrifice that you have that I don't want to say a good mom, because I'm not going to downplay anybody who has chosen to date and bring men in their house, but there's just a different level of responsibility and a different level of care that you have to put into letting people move in your house and then play those roles. Because when it comes to that, if this person is the man of the house, then they also get to have some authority over your child. And so that's a big conversation that I'm not going to get too much into because you didn't give me that many details. Okay. Hello, Butter. Keisha, how are you? So the next question, it says, how to act when getting to know a potential boyfriend. I want my femininity. I want to keep my femininity. And I'm all about gender roles. How do I make him want to pursue me? Let me see. Okay, Stephanie said, I'm sorry, Stephanie. Stephanie said, why do men commit if they are just going to give attention to other women? IDK, maybe it's just me. I mean, no, that's a good question though. Why would you commit if you're just going to give, attention to somebody else? See, if the question actually said that, then I would have a different response, but it didn't necessarily say that, and that's why I say give as much context as you possibly can, because if you don't, then I'm only going to be able to answer it based on what I have. But I agree with you. If you are going to give attention to somebody else, why are you committing to me? And just to answer that, a lot of people, they want it all. They want it all. They want to feel like I'm the man. And some women, they want to feel like I'm that girl. I have all of this attention. I have all of these men wanting me, right? And so sometimes it's an ego boost. That's what I will say. So let me go to the next question. Oh, so this is what we were talking about. How to act when getting to know a potential boyfriend. I'm gonna tell you this. A lot of women think this. Oh, is that my husband? Is that my husband? Like, stop thinking everybody is your husband. Is that my husband? Don't think that. So, first of all, act normal. Act like you're just getting to know this person. Like you all are interviewing each other. He interviewing you, you interviewing him, right? A potential boyfriend. Even if he is a boyfriend, it's like not necessarily a forever thing. He's still interviewing to see if he qualifies to be your husband, just like you're still interviewing to see if you qualify to be his wife. So you act like you're on an interview. I mean, seriously, but you want to keep your femininity and you're all about gender roles. Okay, gender roles, awesome. You know, if you want to be submissive if that's what you want to do. You can be soft spoken. You can be submissive even if you're not necessarily. You can be submissive to all men, and I don't want to look. I'm just saying to all people. You can be submissive as they are being submissive to you, and I'm just saying this as having a heart of a servant. Okay, that doesn't mean you do whatever they ask you to do. That just means being humble. That's what I mean when I say that. You can be humble, you can be kind, you can be soft spoken. You can always do that, okay? How do you make a guy want to pursue you? I can say, like I've heard other women say, don't act needy, right? Don't act desperate, right? If you want someone to pursue you, the right person, you want to be whole, right? You want to be whole within yourself. You want to be healthy mentally. Like, just be you, right? Even if you're not perfect yet, begin to work on who you are or who you want to be, because you want the right person to pursue you for the right reasons. So the right guy will want to pursue you based on wholeness, right? The right guy that you want, right? To have a healthy mind, have healthy emotions, know how to control your emotions. Don't spaz out, don't blow his phone up just because you haven't heard from him for that day. Be calm, be collected. Hi, Samira. Hi, how are you doing? So just chill, and most of all, don't assume every guy you meet is going to be your husband. Let's see. The next one says, what advice would you give about international relationships that could turn into marriage? And I think I answered this the other day when someone asked, how do you, what they said, how do you do long-term relationships? Hello, Yak. I'm sorry. Yak. I'll just say Yak. Hey, how you doing? Hot Roddy or Hot Rod. How you doing? International relationships are obviously going to be difficult in my book, okay? Because that's not something, I see how you could do that, right? I see how that could happen. However, you're going to have to communicate, not just text. You're going to have to communicate. And remember, when you are in different countries, most of the time, you're in different time zones. So you're going to have to be considerate of that aspect of being in different time zones and keeping to a schedule. Like, you have to definitely be intentional with that. And also, you're going to want to do video chat. And with me, somebody going to have to see me physically. People do it, but that physical touch is super important to me. Even when it comes to just friendship, like, if I want to and I'm not saying that you can't be a friend with a person who you're only talking to online, but to take that friendship to a different level, for me, I'm going to want to, be in proximity, like close proximity to that person. So they're all different type of tactics. For me, I say date locally. That's why you can avoid this question totally. But for you, I'm definitely going to say um, testimonials. So if you really want to be with this person, look at different testimonies on YouTube of about people who dated and they were, in two different countries, yet they still got married. Like I know, I have personally, because I'm a wedding officiant, I personally married people who met on Tinder and things of that nature. So, when people hear about others marrying someone who they found on Tinder, it gives them hope that they might find somebody on Tinder as well. So those testimonials is something that I'm definitely going to encourage you to look um, at further. So the next question says, "Hi Drewski, how are you doing? Hey I'm sorry, Menace. Hello. The next question is, how can I be the best version of myself for the world?" That's a great question. I strive to be better every day. I don't always hit the mark, but I definitely strive to be better. But I believe it's about making a decision that you're not going to stay the same, that you are going to be better, that you are going to improve, especially when it comes to your character, right? Character improvement takes work. So, how can you be the best version of yourself for the world? Acknowledge that there is more for you to give the world. Acknowledge that you can be a better person, and you already did that because you're asking this question. But I'm also going to say, surround yourself with people who are striving for better. If you stay around people who steady gossiping, who steady slandering, who steady backbiting, who steady speaking negativity in the world, then that bad company is going to corrupt your good character or your good motivation for becoming a better person. So always be mindful of the company that you keep and continue to make that decision every single day, that I may not be where I want to be, but at least I'm not where I was. And just keep striving forward and speak life. Speak life into yourself, no matter what you see, no matter how many times you fail at whatever you wanted to achieve. Just continue to speak life over yourself. And I definitely believe that those words will create the world that you are striving for. And so the next question, I believe this is kind of personal because, obviously this isn't true for everybody. Hi, Nisha Boo. You asked, why is alcohol more important than a relationship? Why is alcohol more important than a relationship? So obviously this is not true for everybody, but I believe you may be talking about someone who's addicted to alcohol. And you may not like this answer, people may not like this answer, but I believe that alcohol is a spirit and alcohol can be their God. Like that's probably what they worship. And when somebody worships something, you can't get in front of something that someone worships. And that's why I believe that alcohol can be more important than your relationship. They want alcohol more than they want you. They're addicted to the alcohol. They may not be addicted to you, but they may be addicted to the alcohol. Hey, Mr. Martin, Mr. Justin Martin. Yeah, so that's not what everybody thinks. Everybody doesn't think that alcohol is more important. But like I said, it's about that company that you keep. You got to be mindful about the people who you hang around. Don't hang around alcohol. Don't hang around people who drink or who don't know how to control their drinking. Don't hang around people who don't practice self-control. But that's up to you. The next question says, Why do women end up being with the wrong person? These generalized questions. Um, so we don't always get it right, okay? Everyone makes mistakes, okay? Everyone makes mistakes, but all women don't end up being with the wrong person, right? As we grow older, as we experience different things, we're supposed to learn from our mistakes. Many times we get it wrong the first time. It's because we're new, we're inexperienced, we're naive, we're gullible. We don't have much experience and wisdom in the world. But as we grow older in age, in wisdom, and in experience, we are supposed to be learning. What did we do wrong the last time? What bad traits attracted us to this person that we still enjoy? Like, some women they just can't they don't, when a good guy comes to them, they often self-sabotage, right? And when they're doing they're so used to bad things happening to them that when they get something good, they don't recognize it as good. They see it as a trick, and they end up self-sabotaging and then go back to someone who's not good for them. So if you keep getting with the wrong person, a lot of times, most times, it's because you didn't take time to learn and grow from that previous relationship that failed. So that's not always the case, but that is the case sometimes. Ooh, this is a lot of questions. Okay, we're almost done though. I hope so. Uh, the next question is, why do I? Okay, why do I always attract men with addiction problems? Okay, so this is what I think. Okay, this is just something that came to mind. It could be something that runs in your family, right? And I could say like generational curses. If you look down your bloodline, and do you see people who, or do you see women in your bloodline who are in relationships with alcoholics or in relationships with drug addicts? When I look down my line, I didn't notice it when I was younger, but as I matured and as I was able to understand certain conversations, I was like, wow, wow, there is some addiction going on in this family. I didn't realize it at first, but I would say your bloodline might have a line of addicts or a line of women who were attracted to addicts. That's not always the easy answer to give people, because they say, okay, well, then what do I do next? Now, there is a way to break that. I break it. I break it. I break my own generational curses that's in my bloodline. I break it. But, that's something that we're going to have to teach for another day. But I would just say, simply put, it could be a generational curse. Ooh, this question, you said, can a woman propose in open relationship? Yeah, you can if you want to. I mean, hi, Miss Nurse. You can if you want to, right? A lot of women would ask me, is polyamory worth it? First, they would say, is polygamy worth it? But then, as I had a conversation with two women who were in polyamorous relationships, I realized that that was two different things. And my thing is, why would you propose an open relationship? Right? I would always say don't do it to fix something. I'm not going to say do it anyway. I don't think it's necessary, but that's just me. You know, I'm not going to advocate for you to do that, but there are women who will because it works for them. But if you're doing that because you're hurting and you're trying to figure out something that's going to fix your situation, you can propose an open relationship, but I would not recommend it. I wouldn't recommend it. The next question is, when and how do I know he is the one for me? Okay, so this is what I said one time. Okay, after, I don't know how long you've been with this person, but you have a checklist, right? You have a checklist of what he must have. Like some people might say he must be a Christian or he can't be a Christian. He has to have his own job. He can't have children. He can't have ever been married before. And so after you go down this checklist, like he has to have health insurance. He can't, owe a whole bunch of debt. After you go down this checklist, how does this person treat you? Is he ready to commit to you? It's a lot of different factors. Is he open to going to premarital counseling with you? Do you all have the same values? Do you all have the same beliefs? You want to be equally yoked with whoever you're interested in doing something long term with. Because if you don't, it's going to be a lot of heartache that you would not have to had if you would have found someone who you were united with in the first place. But it's a lot of different factors. Okay, so the next question says, why does anyone think it's okay to emotionally harm you because of a disagreement? So, people are very immature. Hurt people. I know you've heard this before. Hey, Juicy Couture. Hope I said that right. Hurt people. Okay? And many times people are immature. They don't know how to just agree to disagree without trying to throw a jab at somebody. So a lot of times it's about immaturity. Like when children, don't know how to share or something like that. They hit, they scream, they kick. When somebody don't want to watch what they want to watch on TV, they start yelling. So why does anyone think it's okay? I don't know if they are just saying it's okay. It's just that they don't care and they want you to agree with them. And they're not mature enough to agree to disagree. Simply put. Let me see. Okay, we're almost at the end. The next question says, what's the science? What's the science behind falling in and out of love with someone? Now, I'm not a scientist, okay? But I have studied a little bit and I've heard that it's like a chemical, like that giddy, oh, them butterflies, I'm so in love. It's just like a chemical that releases and then the chemical dies out, right? That's what I've heard. Now, I'm not a scientist, so when I speak to someone who has a little bit more information about this, and maybe if someone who's watching can let me know, then I can give you a better answer. Okay. Oh, Lord. I'm going to just answer this question. It's very quick. She wants to know, are all men the same? No. That was very easy. No. all men are not the same. Okay, so this question says, okay, you said, I am in desperate need of some advice. So, in my heart, I know I need to leave my boyfriend, but he and his family are the only family myself and my daughter have. I'm not bothered about me, but my daughter loves him and his parents. He is not her father and they are not her biological grandparents, but they are all she has except me. I really don't know what to do. I've stayed this long, 8 years. We met when she was 2. They are all she knows. If I stay, I'm miserable for the rest of my life. If I leave, I'll rip away the only family she has. So that's interesting. I heard a lot of me and she. So that's okay. So this is your love life that you're talking about. Hey, Lawrence. Hey, Walad. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. But I mean, this is your love life. You're talking about her life with, let's just say, adopted grandparents, which is fine. Just because you in your relationship with your boyfriend, which obviously you know you need to do, that doesn't mean she has to end her relationship with his parents, which she may feel as her grandparents. So that's going to be tough, but I would definitely, if I was you, I would allow her to stay in that relationship because, like you, I mean, look, the 8 years is a long time, and they have cultivated a relationship, and that's just not something that you rip apart. You don't rip her apart from that. You don't need to be a part of it anymore, and that's very tough. It's very tough, but I mean, it's possible to make it work. But I just want you to know that you don't have to stay with him, and she doesn't have to leave her relationship with the grandparents. Okay, we're on our last one. Last question is, I've been in a relationship for 8 years and it's been sexless. Any advice to spice things up or help the dry spell? Thank you in advance. So, I mean, look, I would definitely advise both of you all, if he is interested, go to counseling. Go to counseling, because I don't know what the issue is and how old is he, because when men get older, they lose interest. And I'm probably talking about much older than people who are watching this. But when they get older, they lose interest. And it also could be a medical reason. So if you have not advised him to go to the doctor, if he's open to going to the doctor, I would suggest doing that. But he may not be interested anymore. And so, to be honest, you're going to have to go to some therapy and figure out what's really going on. Because I can't tell you right here. But anyway, you all, that is all. That was a lot. I usually don't do that much, but I did not feel like putting them in my document and separating them. And like I said, I'm not doing it the way that I used to do it. Remember that if you want me to answer one of your questions, please submit them. I hold on now. Just submit them in my inbox if you want to come before. If you want to come before the people who didn't do what I told them to do, just message me and I could do it like that. Because like I said, we're doing these things differently. On Thursday, we have something called, and Should have got a snapshot for you, but let me see what it's called. Let me see. I think it's called like Married to Ministry, Chained to Abuse. The first lady's going to be speaking. So I shared this, I think I shared this yesterday, but this is about a woman who was in some spiritual demonic stuff. Okay, I don't even know how to put it. She was the other woman, she was the beat woman, and at the end of the story she came out victorious. So that is going to be premiering on Thursday at 8:45 p.m. on YouTube, LinkedIn, and on Facebook in the different groups. And thank y'all so much for watching. This is always going to be different. I'm not doing this the same no more, just because I'm doing other stuff. But anyway, thank y'all so much.